My name's Steven. I play drums from Tucson, Arizona for Fortuna Malvada. Yeah.
He said question mark. I'm Genesis. I do vocals, and I'm from Douglas and Tucson and Agua Prieta, technically. I don't know, all three.
My name's Lyrical. I play bass. Born and raised in Tucson. Yeah.
My name's Kevin. I play guitar, and I'm from Tucson.
And then if you could all go around again and kind of tell us about your first introduction to punk or any alternative genre. What got you into it?
Like music in general?
Yeah.
Well, mine was at maybe 6 years old. My biggest inspiration is Journey, the band Journey. I saw my dad watching a live DVD from 2001 for Journey, and I saw a drummer just fucking going ham, and so I was like, damn, I want to do that. So that's why I play drums.
Yeah, mine was kind of similar to Steve's, but I have a lot of like alternative cousins and shit like that who kind of put me on. Like my cousins got me into heavier music when I was like 8 or 9, but like they got me into shit that was kind of more nu metal at first. Like I got into like Korn and like Slipknot and stuff like that at first, and they kind of got me into like some metal. Like I got into like things like that my dad listened to too, but he was more like hair metal and shit. He like loves Poison and shit. So. But yeah, like my cousins, no, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, my cousins got me into like heavier shit, and once I listened to like more nu metal, I kind of just started transitioning into other shit. Like my friends started showing me bands. Like I got into Job for a Cowboy. That was like one of my favorite bands growing up. And then I just kind of progressively moved on to there. I started getting more into punk a little bit later because like a lot of the punk music I found I didn't think was good. And a lot of it was really mainstream shit. Like no shade, but it was like no effects and stuff like that. I was like, whatever. They're all right. But I started getting into like better punk when I started getting into high school and stuff. And then UC's probably our old bassist introduced me to some of the better side of punk music too. Like back in like him and I met in like 2015, I think. Yeah, 2014, 2015 or something like that. So he's gotten me into shit like that too.
I started getting into like alternative music in middle school when my best friend at the time made me a Slipknot mix CD, and then just started listening to Rise Against and stuff like that, and then got into like better punk music like Descendants, Rancid, Operation Ivy, Grudos, stuff like that. So yeah.
So my family has always been kind of like musical. My dad played guitar. My nana, she played guitar and requinto in other bands and stuff. So growing up, I was just surrounded by music. Mainly just my dad, he mainly played like rock and metal and stuff like that. My nana mainly played like Mexican music and like Tejano stuff. So they kind of taught me like when I kind of got into it about like 12 years old, But yeah.
Riley made it, so we can
Guys.
introduce yourself.
Just start?
Yeah.
What's the question?
Tell them what you play, and then how'd you get into music?
And your hometown.
Oh yeah.
My hometown? Well, everybody hates
What do you
their
gotta think
hometown.
about it?
My name is Riley. I play guitar, and my hometown is Tucson, Arizona. And I got into music because I don't know. I just picked up a guitar because my dad had one, and just over the years, I just started growing into it, liking it a lot more. I love your slides, by the way. You're sick. All right, and that's
What got you into the genre of hardcore?
Genre of hardcore, probably the energy in it, the simplicity of it, and the community of it. It's like anybody can play it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, mainly overall just the energy of it.
I didn't answer that question correctly, so I'm gonna agree with him. Like the energy of it, and like and like it's just like, yeah, it's angry music, but like for something somewhere in the brain, it just like it makes something click. So just like, okay, I feel that aggressiveness. I want to do more. So there we go. That's it. Yeah.
How did you guys get together, and how did you choose your band name?
It started out originally, so Steve and Kevin are already in like multiple bands together. They've been in multiple bands together. And it started with them and UC. And me and UC had also had these conversations where we were like, I want to start a band. He's like, I might know people. Cool. I was like, sick. And UC was our first bassist. He's our original bassist. And yeah, he like told me, he's like, yo, Steve and Kevin are down. Like, let's do it. I was like, bet, let's do it. And then eventually UC had to leave, so we brought in Libby. And then after that, we brought in Riley. Because like him and I had been talking, and he was like, yeah, I miss being in a band. And like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I think we need another guitarist. So I was like, I'm going to talk to the guys, and if you're down, we're down, you know? So we just kind of went with it.
It already helped that I was already in a band with.
Yeah, they were already in a band before this, too. They were in Mad World, R.I.P.
I only needed convincing.
Literally. Yeah. Okay, I sent you one text, dude. Literally said one text. He's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm down. I was like, oh, okay, sick. I was like, I didn't think it was going to be that easy.
I said I needed convincing, not that it was going to be difficult.
True. For real, I was all nervous. I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, where am I going to find a bassist? I was like, Libby.
And I'm glad you brought that up.
I know, right? I was like, yo, Libby. And then the name, we just kind of like, we wanted something that represented like the fact that, because I was really like into the fact that I wanted to represent like Chicano hardcore and like Mexican and hardcore, you know what I mean? Because that's who I am, that's what I am. Most of us are Mexican. I'm just kidding. Most of us, no shit. But yeah, so I was really intent on that. And I like, I just thought the idea of like bad luck was cool, but also like in Spanish. So we just ended up on Fortuna Malvada. Like I brought it up and the guys were like, sounds pretty sick. Like we're like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, and we just kind of tried it and it stuck. Like we really fucked with it. So we're like, all right, cool.
What genre do you guys think you fall under?
That's a good question.
We have a variety, honestly.
Yeah.
From like punk, thrash, metal, a little bit of death metal, kind of.
What genre do they fall under?
It's kinda hard.
Don't even know.
I think hardcore is like a nice
Yeah.
blanket.
I think like hardcore punk is like a good adjacent, But we really like when we talked about it, like I told them, I was like, I think because all of us have like different backgrounds and different elements that we really tune into. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're really good with like thrash and like shit like that and like punk. And like Libby has like a different type of like niche interest. Like he listens to like Rage Against the Machine and shit like that, and like Rise Against and stuff. And me and Riley are like more like old school hardcore, if that makes sense. Like that type of shit. Like we have a lot of the same favorite bands. Like
You like that corny tough guy?
yeah, like we love beatdown shit,
Tough
like so we wanted to keep a good incorporation of everything we had. And when UC was in the band too, like UC is just like super up the punks. Yeah, like he's a crush punk, so like we wanted to keep the element of like everybody in the band and like not make it sound like one genre, if that makes sense. Like I was like, if someone listens to our shit and they're like, this is all over the place, I'm cool with that, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to draw any boxes for any of us to stay into. Like I want them to bring up whatever they want to do and be like, okay, cool, let's try it, even if I'm not used to it. Like let's try it, and vice versa, like I think it's more fun that way. Yeah.
And
Importance of individualistic things.
Yeah, exactly.
And jumping off of that question, what is your songwriting and your music composition like?
Yeah. It's like a Frankenstein process.
They give me riffs, and then like they're just like, hey, add some drums. I'm like, okay, and then we'll just kind of like use that as a scratch track blueprint and just kind of like go off.
A couple of songs were literally just like off the top, like
Yeah.
we just happened to be recording when it happened.
Or just like, I have like recorded things from like in the past, and like, okay, let's use this from the past and like build it,
There have been a few times where like they're just kind of fucking around and like just
kinda just
bouncing
sounds
off
Him
of
and I
each
just
other.
improv and like
Yeah,
Hit the
I'll
record
literally
button.
start recording and I'm like, dude, this is sick. Like this is actually really dope, and we'll just go off of that, That's why I always tell them, like, I feel like our songs are Frankenstein-y. Like, we all just make different parts separately and just sew them together. Like, yeah, because they'll just, throw out riffs, like, they'll send us in the group chat. They'll be like, look, I wrote this. And they're like, oh, bet, I'll write something. And then by the time we get together, like, we just kind of mesh it together. And, like, I've always written, so, like, I've always, like, done poetry and shit. So I just, like, have shit either, like, kind of stacked up and I make it work with what they wrote. Or I just write all new, like, verses for it if it doesn't fit. Rarely does that happen, but yeah.
I also feel like we all kind of just bounce off of each other when we write it. Like, I'll write a riff, and then Kevin will be like, we should also do this and that. We're like, okay. And then we'll literally just keep going through it, and we'll just add on to it together, or just come up with different ideas to bounce off of it.
Yeah, we wrote a new song recently, and like I think I have like 10 different recordings of it because like we tried it like literally with a bunch of different things, and we're like,
just missed,
yeah,
missed pauses.
we'll land on one for sure.
A lot of your lyrics are politically charged. What causes and topics you guys want to do more, and what you have already written about?
Yeah,
and why it's important.
Yeah, I do like all the lyric writing as of right now. I think me and Steve have talked about him doing some writing too, but we just like always forget to do it. We like never always forget to talk about it. But yeah, for right now I do all the writing, and like most of it is just like lived experiences of my own and like the people that I know, because like we all have like similar backgrounds. Like again, all of us being people of color, like we've experienced, you know, like the like experience
Some
of racism, yeah, like some form of racism, classism, you know, whatever, because like we like didn't, like not all of us, you know, grew up in like really good homes, yeah, like fortunate homes and shit like that. So it's one of those things where like I wanted to write about things we actually live and experience and like are about, because like yeah, it's like, you know, it's a tough genre or whatever, and like there's a lot of like music that's like, yeah, I'm tough and big and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and like yeah, that's cool. I'm like,
It's not real.
Right, and I'm like, we all.
soul there.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need to talk about that really. You know what I mean? And like, if I do, it's just gonna be like here and there. But I wanted to like really bring out things that I feel like a lot of people need to relate to,
Yeah,
especially.
Relate thing.
Yeah, because like of the things that are happening in the world, you know what I mean? And like, because I feel like a lot of us have really good interest in like politically charged bands too. Like one of my favorite bands is Rage Against the Machine. So like, Zach De La Rocha is one of my favorite writers. Like his lyrics are like a big inspiration to me, because he writes about shit like that, like working against oppression and working against like, you know, people that don't have the best interest in us as a society. Because to me, like that's what this is, you know what I mean? Like it's a community that came together because we didn't really fit into anywhere else, you know? So I feel like it's important to talk on important topics, like especially because we have to, like, because we don't believe in cops and like we're not gonna allow cops in our spaces, like we kind of have to teach each other how to respect each other and like how to be like good to each other, you know? Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, like there's a lot of like people that still experience a lot of homophobia and transphobia and like shit like that, even if it isn't a punk or hardcore scene. And like that's why I think it's important to talk about that too, especially being someone who is queer. I'm femme, like I'm non-binary, so I think it's important to like speak on it and represent it, because like I didn't get to see it a lot growing up, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't a lot of bands for me to look at and be like, oh my god, like that's a queer femme person, you know?
It's the representation.
Exactly, yeah, and just like making people feel like you do belong there, you know, like regardless of once in a while some bigots slip in, like, you know, but those people make their way out always. So I feel like what we write needs to like represent who we actually are and what we believe in.
And on that topic, what are causes that you guys believe passionately about and express yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think for all of us, like we're very anti-racism, anti-homophobia, you know what I mean? Like I'm really big on restorative justice and stuff like that. So like I believe in community and I believe in like working with the community like directly, but you know, we're also very adamantly not interested in like welcoming abusers or rapists and shit like that, especially like I speak for myself on this one, especially because like I'm a femme person and I've been through all that shit, you know what I mean? And like there have been people that try to push me out of this space because I try to speak on it, and I was like, nah, too bad, you know? So like I think, and I'm really lucky that like the guys are so supportive of like me speaking about shit like that, and like they all hear me and like they make me feel so seen, and they back me up so hard on that shit because they know that I've experienced that and they know other people that have been through shit like that. Yeah, so I'm very lucky on that part.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Soup. Yeah, I got the mud.
Mud.
Yeah.
It's actually New England clam chowder.
Oh my.
Mud. This is mud. I'm telling you right now.
It tastes like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'll take your word for it.
I believe you.
What are challenges that you all have faced in the scene, or any sacrifices that you've made?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Like the things we faced in the scene.
Yeah, or just together as a band. Like,
I mean, this is like from my individual experience because like when I started going to shows, it was a lot different than now. Like it was just a lot. That thing.
Yeah, sorry.
So when I started going to shows, I felt like there was just a lot of unnecessary like pit beef, and it's kind of cool that you don't really see that now. Like most people just shrug it off. Every once in a while there's a fight, but I think everybody just kind of got over that like.
Shut down real quick.
Yeah, everybody kind of got over that like whole pit beef mentality.
The whole tough guy.
Yeah.
That was rough, dude.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like back in the day, like I would go to a show. I made sure I'd have someone with me in case I wanted to mosh, and like back then, like you always had to watch your friend mosh, just in case something happened, you know. And but like you don't really need that now. And I think that's awesome. It's really cool.
Gang violence, no more.
No more gang violence, bro. Nah, but it's just that
No,
entire
for real though, right?
yeah, no, that entire era is
so there's,
gone.
like, hella
It's cool.
crews and stuff. They take themselves way too seriously. It's like, yeah, chill.
I mean, that's still around somewhere, but like I feel like even then, everybody's kind of like over it.
It's way more chill, yeah.
Yeah,
At least here, anyway. I can't speak on other states and shit.
yeah. I don't know, but here it's pretty chill. You don't really see like people getting jumped that much anymore.
And have you made any sacrifices
Um,
for your music?
Personally or as a band?
I've had to like sacrifice a lot of I had to sacrifice a lot of my free time really, or like I had to sacrifice like I don't know, just like instead of like focusing on like school or something or spending time with someone, I'd go do this. But I don't know, I just view it as like my art. It's like my therapy. It's my hobby.
Yeah.
It's like
Worth it.
it's like all three of those combined into one. So that's why I love it, and that's why I still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really. I mean, I can't really say sacrifice. I mean, it's why I'm still alive, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all good, not to.
All close. Yeah, I feel like we, as a band, we haven't faced a lot of like struggles or like, you know, we haven't had tons of pushback because like I feel like we're all either like cool with most people, you know what I mean, or like people
Part of the scene.
yeah, we're like already integrated, you know what I mean, so like most people know us or like we have like a past and whatnot. Like we've gotten a lot of love and support and it's tight, and like sure there's like some people here and there that are like not as supportive as we would thought or whatever, but
Like to see us fail.
yeah, like, but I feel like that's gonna happen to everybody, and like no matter what, you know what I mean, and like
Can't let her get you down.
right, like yeah, I've told these guys before, like at first, like I'm a real sensitive gal, you know what I'm saying? So like at first, like I was real disappointed with like you know, some people that I thought would be like hyping us up and like didn't say shit, and I was like, damn, that kind of sucks, you know. But at the end of the day, like they would always remind me, they were like, fuck it, dude, let's just focus on the people that fuck with us. Let's focus on the people that do show up.
Like that, and like how people would like expect you to fail because you're just a girl. And
Right, exactly. Like, and that was the thing too, is that like I've definitely had moments where like, because I've been going to shows for like over 10 years, you know what I mean? Like I've been doing this since I was a youngin', but yeah, like when I was younger, like being a girl or femme in the scene was definitely a lot harder. Like I always tell them stories from when I was like 13, 14 going to shows, and like I'd have like grown men like harassing me, and they'd be like, you're just a slut, like you're just here to be a slut, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
So what's that?
I hadn't even held the boy's hand yet, dude. Like I was like, huh? I was like, okay, it's an interesting take, sir, but all right. But yeah, and like I look back on that now and I'm like, damn, that was fucking weird. Like that was weird as fuck. And like I'm so glad it's not like that anymore, you know what I mean? Because like I always tell people, I'm like, listen, these kids are gonna learn on their own. You gotta earn your fucking keep. You gotta do your time. But I would never want like the femmes and girls now to go earn their keep the way I did, because that shit sucked. You know what I mean? Like I saw a lot of girls and femmes like duck out of the scene like over the years because they were like, nah, like I can't do this. Like this is not for me, you know? And it sucks, but Tucson has made like a really big shift on that. So it's like really cool to be a part of it, you know? But I think those are honestly like kind of the main things that we've ever like kind of hit a wall on. But we don't really let it stop us. Like we're just gonna keep moving on, and just the people that fuck with us, and we're just gonna focus on that. Cause like otherwise, like it's energy wasted. You know what I mean? And like again, realistically speaking, like there's like a big uptick in like girls and femmes going to shows, so it's like even better that way. It's nice. I'm like, it's nice.
On to some more fun questions, I guess. What if you could, if you guys could open for any band, who would it be?
Ooh.
Bane.
You didn't even have to think about it. Riley loves Bane.
Terror.
I would love to open for Terror, dude. That's one of my favorite bands in the world. Yeah, I think Terror would be an easy one. I'm a big fan of I would love to open up for Glass because they're one of my favorite bands. They're one of the bands that got me into punk too. So when I was younger, that would be one of mine for sure.
Have Heart.
Yeah,
Yeah. If they were playing.
I'd cry. Union show.
I'd have to think about it. I don't know. I can't say
Give him a
it.
day. I'm just gonna.
I know.
You can't say Journey. No, I'm just kidding.
Really, honestly.
Why would we want to open up for Journey?
Dude,
Why
those
would you
guys, they
not,
would
dude?
hate us.
I would love to do
Not
that.
old people.
Oh, you were.
I feel like the crowd wouldn't like us.
Well, screw the crowd. It's about us right now. We're all
We're there for Journey, bro.
For hardcore, I can't really say, but maybe this is the close Municipal Waste.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Dude,
that'd be sick.
that'd be super sick. Thoughts, Kev?
I would just say suicidal tendencies, maybe.
Damn, alright. Let's make it happen. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, we could work our way in there. I think. Yeah, I mean, just opening up for ACXDC was probably our biggest one. I think, especially I know me and Riley have been listening to them for years for sure, and Libby too. So we're like, fuck yeah. So anything after that is just a perk.
That was a good show.
It was fun.
Oh, what is your guys' most memorable show?
For me, it was Nadia's house show.
That's good.
Honestly,
Yeah.
same.
I think that might be a unanimous decision.
I think so. What about you?
I want to say the BCC, but that one's a good too.
That one was really good too, actually.
Oh man, what?
That's true. The BCC one was really fun also.
Yeah, you didn't play that show. I think you were working.
He was.
But
It was Alex's or Neo's.
No, he was there.
Oh, you were there. Yeah.
I just left right after.
Yeah, he left
Oh.
right after our set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was
think
pretty cool, too.
the one that we had at the BCC for the fundraiser for my homie, that one was definitely a really good one because it was a mixed bill too, so it was a bunch of different
Yeah.
faces. And then the one at Nadia's house in that giant backyard,
Totally.
that one was super badass.
Yeah.
Dude, that one was crazy. I think that one for me
That's
it takes
where he got
the
his
cake.
taste for dirt.
I've had my taste for dirt way before, bro.
Yeah, that shit was tight. Nadia's house got red tagged the next day, but it was worth
Oh.
it. She we fought it and she won, so they didn't
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but we can't have a gathering there for another year, or for the rest of this year, I think. Yeah,
The lane.
whatever. It was cool. It was worth it.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do to positively impact the scene?
I think what we've been doing, putting
Yeah.
out a good message, music,
Just encouraging
and
people to join.
encourage
Yeah.
people. Yeah, just inspire, and bring people together. Honestly, no bullshit,
Yeah.
Just fucking have fun, and we're all here for a reason for music and to yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of people that have came to me saying oh, I want to start a band. I'm just do it.
Yeah,
He's you want to
Motivation.
just do it.
Yeah, just jump
find
into
some
it.
people to play.
Yeah.
Even if you suck, just do it.
just do it anyway. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree. Pretty much just bringing the vibe we have been bringing, just making everyone feel like they should be there and they should just show up. I have had a lot of young femmes and girls tell us they feel safer going to shows that we play and stuff like that, and I think that's tight.
Yeah.
I love that, and I've had people that are oh, you were my first show, or I want to go to shows after you guys because it seems so fun. And I was like, fuck yeah, that's super cool. So I just want to keep that energy, you know what I mean? I want to make people want to go to shows, yeah.
And on that note, we want to ask for the positives and the negatives of the scene.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it goes with any scene, it goes without saying, you know what I mean? There's always going to be people that get into it because of the wrong reasons. They think it's just beating people up and getting into bullshit. And don't get me wrong, I was once a young fucking idiot punk, so all I did was drink and cause trouble. But I feel at its core, it's just actually like important to like notice the good ones, you know. But like there are gonna be like shitty people that sneak in here and there. But like I mentioned before, I feel like a lot of them kind of weed themselves out, or we push them out, regardless of it, you know. And like I feel like there's always gonna be like beef amongst people. Like I feel like it's not realistic to be like never again kind of shit, you know.
Nobody has to like everybody.
Right, like you don't have to like everybody, but I'm like I don't think you should have beef with everybody, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, it's not that serious, dog. But I think that's like the biggest thing for me that I've noticed is like there's a lot of really good positives. Like I feel like we have a really good community, and like we have dope people who want to like do more than just play music, you know what I mean? But like people that don't want to do that, like I said, they kind of weed themselves out. Yeah. Anything else?
I think that about sums it up.
So I wanted to ask, how long have you guys been together, and were you guys playing during the pandemic?
We started like right before COVID like broke
6
out.
months before everything shut down.
Yeah, we like started right before everything shut down.
And then we had shows lined up that we hadn't played yet, did we?
No.
We had like 2 or 3 shows lined up that were supposed to be pretty big, but we just never.
They got like canceled. Yeah, like because the COVID, shit happened. I worked at a nursing home at the time, so I had to be like real careful about being out and shit. And at the time, UC was still in the band, and his mom's like immune compromised, so he had to be real careful too. So we didn't get to see each other as often as we wanted. But then we kind of got the ball rolling to write the EP, and by then Libby had already joined us. So at that point, we were like, all right, like let's just get it done. And we played a couple of shows even before we released the EP because we're like, fuck it, like we just might as well take the opportunity to like get out there since we had been idle for so long, you know.
We're getting back to the rhythm of playing shows.
Yeah, exactly, because like everyone was getting back into like the rhythm of just being out and shit, you know, and like playing shows, and we're like, man, let's just do it. Because if we had waited until we wrote the EP, we would have missed out on like 2 or 3 shows that really made a difference for us, you know. But yeah, like we started like right before that, and then we took that little hiatus, and then we just kind of hopped right back off.
Like 2-year hiatus, year and a half.
It was like year and a half
for COVID.
Yeah, which was a bummer, but it is what it is.
And we just wanted to ask Genesis like individual questions.
Sure.
And we wanted to ask, what is it like being the only female vocalist in Tucson?
Damn, am I really?
For the hardcore scene?
That's crazy. Holy shit.
Fuck yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't think about that. I didn't even really think about it. Cause like my homie Echo lives in Phoenix. She's in Bite the Hand. I don't know if you guys have listened to them. They're fucking sick. But yeah, I think about it now and I'm like, wait, I don't think I know anyone in Tucson that does vocals. But yeah, I hadn't really thought about it till just now. But it is noticeable, I think, for sure. Cause like I've told the guys so many times, I'm like, dude, like these girls just came up and talked to me and they're so sweet, you know what I mean? Like I get so many nice compliments from like young girls and femmes that go to our shows, and it always trips me out because they're like, oh, like you're the first girl I've seen in a band, and I'm like, here, like fuck, it's crazy. I'm like, go join a band, go start a band, I want to see more. And that's really like my biggest like thing behind it, you know what I mean? Like there were so many times where I was like telling the guys, I was like, I don't think I want to be in a band anymore. I don't want to do this. Like I would fucking call Riley like every other week. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, because I just like felt like I wasn't getting like the response I wanted, you know, at first. But then I realized like I was like, it's fine. Like yeah, I just gotta keep pushing, you know what I mean? And like UC told me so many times too. He's like, nah, dude. He's like, keep going. He's like, just don't do it. Don't give up. He's like, I promise, it's gonna pay off. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And like the biggest thing that stuck with me is like Riley mentioned it once, and UC's mentioned it, and like one of my homegirls mentioned it too. She was like, think about it, dude. She's like, you're one of the only femmes like or girls in this band, in a band in Tucson. And she was like, there's a lot of girls that have been going to shows since you guys started playing. And I was like, damn, you're right. And like Nadia pointed that out at her house. She was like, there are so many girls here. Like she was, there's so many femme presenting people here. And I was like, holy shit, there is. And like a lot of those same people have told us, they're like, oh yeah, I go to shows because of you guys. Or like, I've been told like, I want to start a band because of you. And I'm like, that's sick, do it. Like, because I want to see more of that shit.
That's why I went.
Exactly. Like, and yeah, like you were telling me yesterday, like once at a show, and then just the other day, this girl Sydney did like a little school project, and like she interviewed me and stuff, And she told me the same thing. She was like, yeah, like I saw you guys once at a show and I wanted to keep going because of you guys. I was like, damn, that's sick. Made me want to cry. I was like, please don't say that, I'm gonna cry. I was like, shit. But yeah, so it feels cool. I definitely don't feel like it requires anything special. You know what I mean? Like anybody can fucking do it. You just have to fucking do it. You just have to jump into it, kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess going off of that, how do you think we can, like, as an entire scene, as a community, how do you think we can get more femmes involved in starting bands, coming to shows?
Yeah, I think honestly, just like the guy said before, like just encouraging people and like showing up. You know what I mean? Like I said, when I was growing up, like there were girls in the scene, but I didn't get to see a lot of girls in bands or like femmes in bands, and so it was kind of like hit or miss, you know. But that's why, like, I always encourage people when we play shows. I'm like, hey, if you want to start a band, do photography, fucking do interviews for zines, like anything. Just
tell your friends.
Exactly. Take your friends to shows. Yeah, like if you're a girl and you have homegirls that are like, oh, I'm kind of into it, you know what I mean? Drag them along. Like, you never know.
Fuck that party, go to a show or something.
That part. Go to a show and go to a party after. You know what I mean? Like, you can fit it all in. That's why I'm like, I think that's just the biggest part. Be a real punk. Drink a 40 in the parking lot. Let's do what we did.
And then hit your friend with it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why, like, I always tell people, I'm like, do whatever you gotta do. Like, if
Don't
whatever
let
it
nothing
is.
stop you.
Exactly, because like,
Achieving your dreams and drinking the 40 in the park.
Fuck yeah,
drink
brother.
the 40 in the parking lot.
Finish that hot 40.
Fucking finish
Yeah.
it. Just gonna...
I think it also actually falls a lot on like guys like them, you know what I mean, and like other guys in the scene who like do their part in like checking each other and protecting other femmes and protecting women.
Like a comfortable space.
Exactly, because like I know, like when I walk into a show, like I never feel unsafe because I have spent so much time with all these dudes, you know what I mean, and like a lot of the dudes that are in our scene, I've known them for years, so like I know who has my back, and like I know that if I like get any issue, I'm gonna have someone that's gonna back me up and that's gonna like protect me if I need it, you know. And I think that's a big portion of it too, is like that men and mask presenting people need to do their portion too, you know what I mean, to make it inclusive to femmes and women, you know, like not make it such a sausage party.
What do you think about having a female vocalist, all of you guys?
Sick as fuck, honestly. And she does the job really fucking well. So, yeah, has that energy, has that drive, honestly. You need that drive. And as I didn't know as many times that she, like, was, like, being down to, like, stop. I'm glad you kept going, because, like, you're fucking doing it. She's doing it! But yeah. That's it.
It definitely gives us a different perspective of the scene. You know, we have a better understanding of, like, you know, as guys, we don't know what girls go through or femmes go through in the scene, like, as far as, like, being uncomfortable or, you know, just not wanting to go because they don't want to, like, they want to go, but they're scared, you know, to make that leap, you know, just to show up, you know, be part of something.
I think Genesis being in the band is exemplary of what we want to see more in the scene.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask, do you have any female or feminine influences?
Yeah, there's a lot, honestly. Like, a lot of my, like, the bands that I saw when I was younger with, like, girls in them and femmes in them that, like, really pushed me, like, Gloss was one of the big ones for sure. And then the Distillers was, like, a big one for me. Because, like...
Really don't.
Yeah, dude, like, especially because she has more of, like, a rougher voice, you know what I mean? And, like, I've always been, like, a more, like, masculine girl, if that makes sense, or, like, more tomboyish or whatever. And I have a deeper voice than more girls.
You got a husky voice.
I got a husky voice. It's got rough, you know? But, yeah, like, she was a big one for me because, like, her voice isn't typical, if that makes sense. I fucking hate Courtney Love as a person, but as a musician, oh my god,
Hole's got some jams.
Hole's got mega jams, dude. Yeah, they have some good songs. I was like, she sucks as a person, but her artistry is good.
I'll tolerate your music, but I don't fuck with you as a person.
That part.
What did Courtney ever do?
She's a bitch. We can go into that. We're going down another time. Differences.
It'll blow your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the big ones too for me was like Kitty. Like they're an all-girl band, you know what I mean? And like my cousin got me into like new metal when I was like really young. So Kitty was one of like the first bands I got into, and I was like, what the fuck? Like that's cool as shit, you know? Especially, yeah, dude. Yo, I love the Veronicas.
I know.
The Hex Girls. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like Kitty was one of them for sure. And like oddly enough, like as much as I hate to admit it, but like Gwen Stefani was like a big influence to me too when she was in No Doubt. When No Doubt was good. Yeah, like they did like those little ska albums and shit. Like that was tight. Like I really liked her as a performer. But yeah, and oddly enough, Hayley Williams has always been like a big one for me because like her energy and her stage presence, like big fan of that. Yeah, dude, I've seen them like 6 times.
Jesus, what the
Just
fuck?
kidding, it's 5.
Oh,
Yeah, it was 5.
I thought you were going to say just kidding, it's 7. I was like,
yeah.
dude.
I wish, dude.
Rub it on my face.
Love to see
They're fun. But yeah, those are pretty much it.
Any tour plans or goals?
Yeah, like it's not totally set in stone right now, but I'm like trying to get us to go on a little run. Hopefully, like, because Riley's a bartender here, and like it kind of slows down for him like in the summer when school's out and shit. And like Libby's in school right now, so if he like has a little break, like we're hoping maybe to do a little run like in the summer, like maybe like May, June type shit. But I have homies in Texas that have hit me up multiple times. I have homies in California that are like, come through. And like I have some friends in Vegas too that have hit us up, so we might try to do a little like quick run through that, you know, maybe hit like a city or two in all of them.
Play out of Tucson.
Yeah, just play out of Tucson in general, and Phoenix obviously, yeah, but we're working on like writing a full length too, so we kind of want to like make it mesh, if that makes sense.
Any merchandise you guys are coming out with?
Yeah, actually
We have ideas. But we do have a shirt that we've been asked
Yeah.
to, you know, it's a little, what's the word?
Huh.
I don't know, what's the word you would describe the shirt?
Oh yeah, risque.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like our merch right now that we have is just the one shirt in black and white with like the dom on there. Yeah, we do actually. Yeah, remind me, I'll bring some. But yeah, we have those shirts right now. I'm getting us some tote bags made. Those are gonna be real cute. Very girly
You
pop.
talked about ski masks.
Yeah, we've been talking about ski masks and stuff like that. I think it'd be sick as fuck.
Should have one grill, man.
Just one. I was thinking about a mouth guard.
That'd be
Dude,
that'd be
I was
sick.
like, we should get mouth guards. That'd be sick.
I think it's like a mirror Rotella that did like boxing gloves.
Yeah, I
like
think,
Fortuna
yeah.
Malvada.
Some paperweights.
Paperweights. Bring them in, baby. Yeah, fucking, yeah, like ingrown made like brass knuckles and shit or something like that. Yeah.
Paperweights.
Yeah, paperweights, quote unquote. Yeah, but we're gonna make some little tote bags. Hopefully, I'll have them done by like the end of December. But yeah, we definitely have some more coming up. Like I have some that we've been sitting on that we want to print out. But
Different shirt designs.
yeah, different shirt designs and like, you know, we want to make
PG.
patches and shit. Yeah, more PG shit. Because I have had like kids be like, I'm gonna buy this, but I can't wear it at school. And I'm just like, sorry. Or like, there was one kid that told me, he was like, yeah, my mom yelled at me because I was wearing this shirt. I was like, it's like, my bad.
That's how you know we're a good hardcore band.
Yo, I'm waiting for the day
Influential.
someo's mom shows up to a show and they're like, what the fuck is this?
Hey, you know what they say? If your mom thinks it's cool, it's not punk.
That's true. That's true.
Any shout outs? Shameless plugs?
Shameless plug, she said. I mean, mostly just like to the bands that like you know, that we all work with, and like the bands that are doing that shit right now.
Yeah.
Like
Final Stands.
dude, Final Stance,
Maldita
Maldita
Gente.
Gente, like War Prison just had a super sick show last night. And like there's a bunch of Phoenix bands too, like Umera, like they're in Umera also, and they're like definitely no, I know you're talking. But from here, like there's Umera as well. Like the ones from Phoenix, like our homies in Bad and like One Life Taken, you know, like we love those dudes.
For sure.
Yeah, like we want to see more variety and shit, you know what I mean? Obviously, like that's why I always encourage people. I'm like, start a band. We can't have enough, you know what I mean? Like the dudes in Gem are fucking awesome, but they're like a different genre, you know, like the dudes in Velour, like Commoner, like I love them so much. Like they're so sick.
Any motivating words for the people?
Hi.
All charming.
Do it.
Fucking do
Just
it.
go to shows. Go to
Yeah.
shows. If you want to start something, do it. Like if you want to take photography, stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for the right camera. Stop waiting. Just do it. Just jump right in. If you want to start a band, jump in, even if you suck at first.
Yeah.
It's part of the
Takes
learning
time.
process. Dude, I listen to our EP all the time and I'm like, I could have done that better, like for sure, you know? Like, and I've had people tell me like, yo, your vocals have gotten so much better, like, because I found the confidence, you know what I mean? Like, after we started, like, because when we wrote the EP, we had played like maybe 2 shows, you know? So I was still kind of like, and
Figuring
like,
it out.
yeah, and like now I have way more confidence in what we're doing, and like it shows. And like my friends have told me, they're like, your vocals have gotten better.
Well,
like
not to
that's
mention
crazy.
you haven't been in a band in how long?
In like
Yeah.
years, like literally like 8 or 9 years or something like that. I was in like a shitty metalcore band when I was like 18, and then like after that, it just always fell through. You know, that's why I always like, I'm like, just keep pushing it. You're gonna get it, even if it's not right away. Like you're gonna find people, and if you don't go to shows and you want to go to shows, just go. Even if you go by yourself. I used to go to shows by myself all the time. I used to drive to Phoenix by myself. I'd watch the show. I wouldn't talk to fucking anybody, and then I'd dip. You're like, so if you want to go, just go.
Yeah.
Like, you'll meet people there. Like, people will be nice to you. And if they're not, like, you can just avoid them next time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
More people of color bands, more queer bands.
Yup. Especially
All that
more
shit.
people of color and queer folks. And, like, you know, pretty much anyone that challenges, like,
The
the
norm.
stereotype and
Yeah.
the norm and whatever, you know? Like, I love seeing, like, a bunch of queer kids at our shows. Like, I love seeing, like, kids that don't fit, like, a mold or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, some people, like, will talk their shit and be like, "Ugh, why you dressed like that?" Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Wear whatever the fuck you want. I'm like, wear your fucking fishnets, wear your skirts, wear whatever. I'm like, I don't give a shit what you look like. Just go. Just show up, support your local scene. And, like, as, you know, once you do show up, like, you just keep going and no one's going to weed you out at that point, you know? Like, and that's what I always tell people, because like I've had a lot of, like I said, a lot of girls tell me, they're like, I'm scared to go to shows and like blah blah blah, and like now's the best time, especially for like queer, non-binary kids and like trans kids and like femmes, to like go to shows, because there's a lot of us right now, you know, like, so it's like you're gonna be backed up no matter what. Anything else, guys?
You said it all.
Talk to me.
Cool.
I think that's a wrap.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Sick. Heck yeah.
Yay. Do I pause it?